Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronosplays Apollo Justice. Today, I'm kinda stumped on what I should do. So the only thing I presented the knife last time, right? Because it's the only thing with his fingerprints. Yeah, the pistol doesn't have any fingerprints, and this was stuck in the ground at the crime scene. This was left at the crime scene. But it doesn't have fingerprints on it, right? So we can't, other than the eyewitness testimony, we can't say it's actually his gun. Yeah, okay, so here, raised his pistol, doesn't have his fingerprints on it. Yeah, wait, tossing the gun aside. This is wiped. It was wiped. So that means it couldn't have just been tossed aside. Objection! Oh, music stopped. Oh, wait a second. Tisk tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so bold to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you? Come again? Wait a second, you say. A second? Are you intending to wait just that? A single second or a 60th of a minute? I know. I have known people like this. I don't really see them all that often anymore. Oh, man. There's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period? Mr. Justice, please. Yes, Your Honor? Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yes, I mean, no, here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. Ah, a common ploy, made only all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right! He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints. He could have been wearing gloves. Ah, a little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there. There's plenty of songs about little girls. If you go back and look at some of the lyrics of older music, kind of fucked up in terms of some songs about very young girls. I'm not little. Yes, you are. You're 15. Then let's think like adults then, shall we? Eh? What if the killer, the defendant, were wearing gloves? That's what I just said. Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo. Yeah, that's because you're a child. Well, Mr. Justice, could the killer have been wearing gloves? No, because his knife. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remain, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you said it did, he wouldn't have time to wipe the pistol. Maybe, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds solid to me. Well, for her forehead, any objections? Any of your precious objections? I can't read. My mouth and my brain do not work together. What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training and go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Wocky drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure what Wocky threw away. You're right, it's the knife. No shit. He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be so hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I am quite offended. Well, it is indeed true that once in my youth I wrote a love letter. Oh. Can we be the murderer? Chronos, someone being annoying isn't right to murder, right? I plead the fifth on that one. What we could say is for certain that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about that? Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else. At least one person on defense team seems to be thinking. Grr, I'll wipe that smile off your face, Mr. Gavin McGraw II. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? Look at this knife! Is that a sword? No, it's more like a dagger. I saw one of those in the late-night movie last night. Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime with the defendant's prints on it. His prints? This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. And two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Oh, here, forehead. You're forgetting two other things you just proven. Huh? One, that the man that the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Wocky. And two, the defendant was holding a knife with the intent to harm the victim, but he didn't stab the victim. Indeed. Never underestimate Mr. Gavin. Gavin is a lesson here. No? I mean... No? I mean, it does prove that he had intent to hurt him, which I'm sure he did. He didn't stab him, though. There are no stab marks on this guy. It also proves he wasn't wearing gloves, generally speaking. If the prints are from both hands, then he wasn't wearing gloves on either hand, thus he didn't have time to wipe a pistol down. So, we're kinda in the middle here. This court has the opinion that witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would be behoove to us to hear what really occurred. With less assuming, please. It is always the same with you people. What do you mean, you people? Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? This is not a math class. Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming, yes, that's what I said. Assuming! As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. We could, hear me out on this, strangle him with his cap tassel. Chronos, what? If everyone in the court takes place, no one's gonna, snitch. Right? I cannot prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor can I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Okay. Why didn't you chase the killer? Well, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? If you're able to stop something within means of keeping yourself safe, for the most part, and, you know, not potentially making the situation worse, I'm all up for it. But if the murder already occurred, and they're running away, like, take a picture of the dude. Like, if you feel like you can catch up and tackle them, sure. But if they're still armed, and I don't know, you gotta be careful, right? Because if one person was already shot and they're leaving the scene, you don't want to add to that statistic. But at the same time, if the shooting's still going on, you try your best to stop it if you're gonna be a potential victim, right? Anyways, why didn't you chase out the killer? He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I couldn't have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than a aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? No. Does it not, Mr. Justice? Better find a way to take this testimony down. Press? Which way did the killer run? With that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'd probably run in the opposite direction of you too. That would mean that he ran in the opposite direction from the Kitaki mansion. Octung, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight. How did he know that's where I was going? Because that's a pretty logical assumption. You were certainly composed for someone who just witnessed the killing. If one is to devote one's life to pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood. And also, it's the age of the internet. Most people are desensitized to this sort of shit. Nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor. Oh, cool answer. Very cool. Huh, so nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. Did she kill the mother today? Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need to call an ambulance. I guess 911 isn't the universal call for shit's wackio, get everyone over here? Because all the times I've had to call 911, it's like, what's your emergency? It's like, hey, there's a fire. Fire truck shows up. Hey, there's a medical emergency. Ambulance shows up. Hey, someone's breaking in my house, or there's a fight. Police show up. Right? I kind of assume most countries have that sort of... I know, at least the countries I know of, at least more than just general, like that they exist knowledge, I know they have certain numbers. They're not always 911. They're different in different areas, obviously, but the general concept is the same, right? But yeah, I don't know. Oh, a perfect syllogism? Approved in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite. It actually looks like he's going to cry. Trucy, what? Can you tell us the details about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could have happened at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction. Is that all? No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing. It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park. So he just stood there, menacingly, watching. Huh, not much to go on there. What? Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means say it. Ugh, I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, her forehead? Maybe it's time to back off a bit? I mean... there really wasn't anything for me to work with there. Trucy has something to say. Do I say no and see if Trucy chimes in? There really wasn't anything to really go off of there. I mean, if I get it wrong, I'm sure they'll just throw me back here anyways, but... I guess we can say no and see if Trucy says anything. The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I'll amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. Very well, you may continue with your cross-examination. Okay, well, let's look at the evidence real fast. Yeah, alright, I guess... maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in the testimony after all. Someone has a glamorous careers we'd like to go back to this month, Mr. Her forehead. Yeah, they don't have enough to put Wocky away yet. Should I just back off now? Yeah, I guess. I can't. If there's anything there, I'm assuming the game will tell me now, but I couldn't find it. There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness' current testimony. There are a number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints away. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. Seems we've come to the end of the line here. No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Were you, Hair Forehead? I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant. You just said we didn't... that is actually jumping to conclusion. There's literally very... yeah. That's too quick. Hold it. Hey. Eek! Trizzy? What? Nobody move! What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet! Wait, are you one of the Katakis? The Katakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? I've never heard of them. If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to the pressure from the likes of... Her judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. What? Wait, how'd he disappear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo! Oh wait, that's Trucy. Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo! Oh, is she pulling a magic trick? I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man. So she just scammed the court. Is that what's going on? Save? Sure, why not? Back? Yeah? June 16th. Trucy! You move quick, Apollo. Yeah, it's her. Good show. Trucy, you're okay. I thought... Sniff, ball. Don't cry, Apollo. Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo, or else... What the heck is that? Surprise? I just broke the law. This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat. You look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on the stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I'm a big hit. Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean, Trucy, there's something you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo, now's not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's been threatened than here. Huh? Remember what you said to Wocky's father yesterday? He promised he'd save his son. I didn't promise that. He just assumed I promised that because he's gonna kill me if I don't. But the testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Murder them? All of them? How much magic you got in that hat? Look, once the judge declares the verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talents to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more stage abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident, I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we got. You can see what he's feeling? Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction? Yeah, sure, I remember. Well, I think I remember them, sure. Well, 2 times when he made statements that he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction. In his hand, he yelled, yeah, blob a pistol. Tossing the pistol aside, he said he meant toss the pistol aside. But it turned out he wasn't sure, sure enough. And sure enough, there was a contradiction. And that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit of reading a book. So what, does he have it all written down in his book? Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense. And he fiddled with the corner of the page. Yeah, sure, okay, yeah, I noticed that. Absolutely. Trucy, what are you fucking, like, what are you, taller? Of course I noticed that. Who wouldn't notice that? How am I supposed to see that? Well, I can see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing the game? Me? What? Oh, you helped your dad cheat. I was sitting next to Daddy during bitch matches. I can see what his opponent was feeling. Wait, were you there with the murderer last time? You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? I'm not cheating officially. I was just looking at their hands. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything like that. I was just giving advice to Daddy after knowing that they were lying. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all. But not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Stab him in the alleyway. The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Okay. Is it the power of Grayskull? Am I gonna be wearing like a bikini in a second? Am I gonna get ripped in a second? Because that'd be kind of cool. Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yeah, he smiled when he said you'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Is that what he meant by being fine? What an asshole. Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already by lying and faking her own kidnapping. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Like, okay, straight up though. Isn't it gonna be weird if we just walk back in there? Aren't they gonna take you in for questioning? Alright, time to show what this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it. Apollo! You know, I'm starting to think I can do this. Yeah, I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover Mr. Hat as best you can. I just flew in from the coast, and boy are my arms tired. Right. Okay. I've stopped the kidnapper, abductor, whatever you want to call it. Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice. Oh, you mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right. Him. Don't worry about him. I settled that. He's dead. You settled that? Yeah. I stabbed him. I have this knife. It was an out-of-court settlement, yeah. Perhaps that word would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? Huh, I think he's on to me. I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with this niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness? I don't know. What's the laws on torture in this place? Right, the defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something. There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant you a request, Hoa. But this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has the habit of fiddling his book. So this one? No. I cannot prevent the killer from leaving, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I use my... Okay, so this one? Okay. I'm not sure I qualified to watch testimonies after all. Focus, Apollo! Find his weak spot. It's usually a big glowing button on the enemy. Focus. If that was easy. My ears hear what he's saying, my eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? Taste? Should I lick him? What's this? My bracelet? What? Are we having another stroke? What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. And then go in for the kill. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. Where the fuck does this bracelet come from? Should I just press on everything again, or just... This, like, we've already done all of them, right? So, I guess press here? So, you called immediately after witnessing the murder. The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo! This has to be it! Wait, you mean this habit? Don't forget, Apollo! I literally just said this shit! The only time he even had his book open was here. Which means, this is the place to look for his habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Now what? It's my bracelet. It's different, somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about it. What game has a magical bracelet? Oh, like the dot hack games. That wasn't really a bracelet. Let's see. Magical bracelet video game. It's not Forspoken. I haven't played that one. It doesn't exactly look like something I would enjoy. Bambi? Secret of the Magic Bracelet? Oh, shit. Where can I get that game? We're doing it. Schoolmates, The Mystery of the Magical Bambi. What the fuck? Oh, okay. So, there's two different games about magical bracelets that just came up. Schoolmates, Mystery of the Magic Bracelet. Bambi, Secret of the Magic Bracelet. Oh, man. There was like an RPG that had a bracelet. I mean, I'm sure there is. Oh, well, that's fine. I can feel it reacting to something about this witness. Your bracelet? Oh shit, the bracelet's up on the top of the screen. I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Juicy. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go because I'm absolutely insane. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with the Y button. See? Told you I was fucking insane. What's going on? It's the stroke again. I can see the witness's face. His expression is so clearly. It's filling my mind. It's gonna haunt my dreams forever. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy! Holy shit, I can hear something else! What's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this thing you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but it's kind of freaking me out. Just look at Mr. Stickler's Twitch, his habit. You remember it, right? Okay, what's his Twitch handle? Sure, when he says something he's not sure, he fiddles with the page of the book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face, and your eyes are sort of bugging out. I bet they are. First, move your focus down to Mr. Stickler's hand. Don't go too far, you'll end up on his junk. You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right, I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. I can't go lower. Perfect! Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the Twitch. Perceive. Try listening to witnesses talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit. Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page. That's right. That's your signal to look closer. To perceive with Y. Find his weak sport in a sport? Looking at it, it's probably either like some sort of physical sport like football or baseball or basketball. Honestly, any really sport is gonna fuck him up, unless it's like chess. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee you'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true poker head's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words. And his fingers. Don't worry if you missed it, you can always try again. Right. Look out, nervous Twitch, here comes justice. Gotcha! I'm sending your ass to the Shadow Realm, apparently. I saw it. Just now. I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? Oh, this banging of desks. It's quite hard. Bad for my circulation. You know. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone. What are you talking about? I'm curious about how this cell phone of yours... I'm curious now about the cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask you a few questions? Huh, what to ask, Ask for his number, ask him the model of phone, ask to see his phone. Probably that one. Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone. Why? Whatever for? Because I don't believe you have one. Show me and you'll find out. Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it. Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone? Yeah, where did you find that? That's the phone from yesterday. I kind of fucking forgot we had that, actually. Look, a cell phone. Yeah, okay. Someone dropped it beneath the tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a minute, what is the meaning of this? This cell phone was found yesterday in the Emeritus Clinic garage. Apparently it's a play on malpractice. Tell us to be Mactus? Merrick? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Why? That's where the victim lived. He lived in the clinic? What do you mean he lived in the clinic? Do you have a house above his clinic? Okay. Yeah, that's impossible. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police? Week. It's true, I didn't have my cell phone last night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call from your cell phone after all? Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler? Well, to indicate it with a startlingly high degree of accuracy, it was around here. Wright's office. That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie? There can be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage. What are you saying? Mr. Stickler, You broke in the clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all. But that's ridiculous. But that makes it sound like I snuck into the fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I was trying to kill him. Well, he was killed that night. Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, that's true. I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it on that night. Well, Mr. Justice, if the cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to connection to the crime. Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime. He already is connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped the night of the murder? I mean, honestly, maybe not. I don't know. Let's think. So Trucy said this guy looked familiar, right? He made a call from outside Wright's agency. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I would like to just, yeah, there we go. Property, yeah, Stickler. I mean, okay, so the button, oh, no, go back there. Having some problems with my controller recently. Well, I've had problems with the controller for a while now. One of the shoulder buttons is broken somehow. It's just stuck. So if I like don't hold it properly, it goes off. We're to assume he's the guy that stole the panties, right? Where did we find? We found this at the park, right? I mean, yeah, show evidence. Maybe save before we do that. Just in case. Oh, you got plenty of tries, Chronos. I know, but just in case. Of course I have evidence, probably. Oh, I like your swagger, her forehead. Hit it. The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is... I have no fucking idea. It can't, it's not the phone, right? I'm digging the music. We only lose one bar, so... Is it the panties? No, he stole two panties, right? If this is the guy that stole the panties. He stole these, and then he stole these. Okay, so let's think about it for a second. The panties were stuffed in the car as exhaust, right, in the garage. This was found at the crime scene, the mirror, right? This was under the car in the garage. So the car must have hit Phoenix before... Well, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. If the dude that was driving the car was the doctor, yeah, he would have hit Phoenix before. Can I examine this? Yellow doesn't really do anything, I feel like. Oh, what was that? It's cut clean. I wonder where what's in there. There are bare wires hanging out. Let's see. Zap. How? Eek! How is there a current going through that? It's not connected to anything. What? Are you okay? Just a little joke. Oh, yeah, okay. Don't scare me like that. What do you mean, don't shock you? Zap. Just pulls down her hat over her head. Okay, so if the guy driving the car was the doctor, he would have had to hit Phoenix before he was shot, obviously, before he stole the noodle stand. That means the penny thieving and the phone dropping should have happened after the car went back to the garage. Look at the cute little wrist strap. I want one. It's kind of odd, though. I mean, if you want to know the time, you can just look at the phone itself. That's right, sharp. What is the time? Yeah, we already went through this. So this is what, 9:45? Okay, so I think it either has to be the phone with the watch on it, or the car, because it was torn off before the crime took place, and then you would have to drop this down there. Let's try the phone first, and then we'll try the mirror. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? No comment, Herr Judge. No dice, Mr. Justice. Penalty. Paulo, remember where we found the cell phone? It had fallen off the ground before that night. That's right. The cell phone would have been crushed. Okay. So then, I guess, mirror? That's a side view mirror. As it so happens, the doctor's car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder. An accident? An accident. Like you, Mr. Stickler. That's rude! It happened a little later after 9 p.m., just outside of People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Meritus' car hit a pedestrian. What are you trying to say? From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in the garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground, right under the wheel. Erk! Ergo, Mr. Stickler. The only time you could have dropped this in the garage is after 9, precisely probably around 9:45, where the watch stopped. Yo! Mr. Stickler, you know what that means. You did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as the suspect in the murder of Pal... Maractus? Maractus? Is that it? So it's like malpractice? Pal Maractus? Is that it? Dr. Maractus? No, stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor! Say something! I suppose it's worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Practice. That is, other than this. I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I know that face. That's the face of guilt! Witness time! Or, no, witness testimony! We'll get to that next time, though, because apparently my brain's shutting off. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next episode. Bye!